want you to see the similarity in the two constructions. When we were on this construction, where did we first put our compass point? On the point. Guess what? We're going to come up here, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our compass point where? On the point. Now, granted, this time the point is not on the line, but that's okay. So, it starts on the point. Now, let me rotate this. So, now the opening is important. Do you remember how we intersected this segment twice? If I keep my compass this way, am I going to be able to intersect my segment? Okay, if I open it this way, am I going to intersect my segment? If I open it this way, am I going to intersect my segment? What must be true about the opening? Your opening has to be such that it is below the line. So all of these are wrong. But those are really nice arcs, aren't they? All of those were wrong. So you have to open your compass so the pencil point's below the line. Now you're going to draw an arc. And how many times must it intersect? This is the happy construction. Why is this the happy construction? Yeah. This is the happy construction. So do you remember we did those 2 points of intersection for a reason? Why did we do these points? That's where your compass point went, correct? So now we're going to take our compass point to one of those points of intersection. I'm going to open my compass a little bit larger. Now, you want to do this arc on the opposite side of the segment as P. You're going to do an arc. Where are we going to move this compass point? To the other side. It's really hard to learn how to use this compass on the smartboard. Okay, so you see I'm on my other point of intersection. And what's the purpose? The goal is to intersect the arc you just made. And then you should be able to connect P to that point of intersection. And that's not a perpendicular bisector, but it is a right angle. It's a perpendicular. Bisector, because we didn't necessarily bisect. This P might not have been in the center of the segment. All right, let's do this again. Do you see the similarity between the two constructions? Get yourself another segment. Get yourself a point. Let's label this point B. B. Brittany Norwood, where do I start this construction? Where does my compass point have to begin? On this endpoint? Okay, we want to pass through B. If I'm doing a perpendicular bisector, we do endpoints. That's the only time. If we have a specific point like this point was P, and that point was P, we must start on our point. Okay? So in this case, we're going to put our compass point and we're going to start it on B. Leslie, how do I determine my compass opening? Right, I have to open my compass so that my pencil point is below my segment. Now, what happens if I make this so wide that when I do my arc, oh my goodness, it doesn't intersect my segment at all? I can either take my compass and do what? Make it smaller. Am I still below? So that's one option. Now have I done my segment? Or what could you do to the segment? Make it longer. That was another option. So I'm going to go with my So I'm going to delete my big one. So there's my arc. Now, the purpose of intersecting this segment 2 times was for what? So MJ, where am I going to put my compass now? On the right point of intersection. And where will I be doing my arc? Below the line. So I'm going to get my compass so it's below the line and I make an arc. Carlin, where am I going to put this compass point next? On the other point of intersection. And what's the goal here? To intersect the arc I just drew. Now, how do I get my perpendicular from here, Kayla? Right, through my point B, through that point of intersection. What's this relationship, Harper? So what do I need to draw? So there's that and that. So I want you to do this construction 3 times. All right, we're going to start for our parallel. We're going to take our straight edge. We're going to construct or draw a line that passes through P and intersects K. Any questions here? So I don't know if you want to label these steps or not. So this would be step 1. All right, so now what you're going to do is this is going to be your, remember how you did an angle? What we're going to do is we're going to do an angle. We're going to duplicate this angle. So you're going to take your compass point, the only point, it's all about points of intersection. We drew this line, we made a point of intersection, our compass point's going to go on that point of intersection. Everybody's compass point on their point of intersection? I don't care what opening you use. Now you're going to draw an arc that's going to intersect both sides of that angle. Leaving your compass point or your opening unchanged, you're going to take this compass point up to point P. And you're going to draw the very same arc. So if I were numbering my steps, the arc down here is going to be my second step. So this would be step 2. This would be step 3. Now, we did this. You see those 2 points of intersection? Is this a point of intersection on the lower angle in the same position as that point of intersection is on the upper angle? Remember how we measured the angle? We're going to take our compass back to this point. And I want you to put it on this point. And then we measured the angle. In other words, once we got down here, we opened our compass so that my pencil point was right there. Not quite. I can't get in between. As good as it gets. Do you have your angle opening in your compass? Yes? Do you see where this compass point is? Guess where you're going to slide it? Up the segment to this point of intersection, and what are we going to do? Create an arc. So now, this point right here that you just made is this point down there. So now you're going to connect this point with P, and you'll have yourself a parallel. This is part of your sidewalk construction. Now, we've never talked about this before, but this is the marking for parallel lines. When you have two parallel lines, you draw an arrow on this line and an arrow on that line. Not at the ends, in the middle. That's the indication that they are parallel. So what I want you to do is I want you to draw another line. I'm going to try this again. I'm going to move my compass down before I don't have it anymore. Draw another line. I want you to draw a point. And let's do this construction again. We started with a line that goes through our point. I'm kind of losing my point, it's so tiny. And then we took our compass, we put it on this point of intersection, and we drew an arc. Now, this point of intersection is, we're going to move our compass, leaving it the same. We're going to slide it up to this point of intersection, or to this point. And we're going to draw another arc. So those arcs are congruent. I should say the radii. So then we're going to come back down here, and we're going to measure the opening. So I'm going to come down here, and that's a little bit big. So when you get your pencil point on one point of intersection, your compass point on the other, we're going to slide back up to this point and intersect that, connect our point and our point of intersection. And that's a parallel. And remember, we're going to mark our picture with the appropriate marks.